Hi, welcome back, peoples. I guess I hadn't done a video since before the end of summer when we went to the Outer Banks, but today I've got a new toy here, Killer Instinct. What is this thing? Killer Instinct Vital X. I have been hunting with the Killer Instinct compound bow. This one here, Lethal 405. Got this thing several years ago. Literally one of the cheapest crossbows you could buy at the time. I think the Bass Pro were running a sale on them for like $199. And I've hunted 4 seasons with this. I've killed 4 deer with this. And I had a little bit of a problem with this whole head right here. This is brand spanking new, just got it about a week ago. I had the inside of one on my limb right here. Not this one, but right in here, I had just a splinter start to pop up on this limb. And Killer Instincts here lately has been taking a hit over their products, and limb splitting people, but from what I've done and what I've researched that I've read and everything I've looked online, they all do. It's just a matter of when. I don't know that the technology of the limbs has caught up to the speed of the cams, and what they're pushing the limits on the speeds of these crossbows. I don't know here nor there. One of the things I keep going back to and watching is Rich. Right now I'm at a loss for the words. Rich's last name, Death by Bungee. The guy's name is Rich. Rich is a very thorough man, very knowledgeable man, and he did a thing on limbs and why limbs break, and he got a hold of some very knowledgeable people and spoke to them, and it's all on his channel, Death by Bungee. Look at all that if you want to hear what Rich has got to say and what David Wyvern, David from Wyvern Creations, another very knowledgeable crossbow man. And it really, it comes down to that probably 60% of limb failures and crossbow failures, in my opinion, is user error. Just plain and simple. And of course, nobody wants to admit that they did anything wrong, and it's human nature. Oh no, I didn't do that, or no, I didn't do that. I mean, God, I was on one of the crossbow web pages or Facebook pages the other day. This guy was jumping up and down about how bad his crossbow was coming apart, and what a piece of crap it was, and this, that, and the other. And you start looking at the pictures he posted, and you could see, I mean, this crossbow looked like he's been riding around in his truck for the last 6 months. I mean, the bolts, Allen heads were rusted, the black coating on one of the bolts, all that black coating was flaking off, kind of like how we use chrome plate. People use chrome plate lug nuts and such, and after a while that chrome plating flakes off. Well, that nut on that crossbow looked like that. I mean, to me, that's your fault. Your bow, I mean, if you don't take care of your equipment, it's gonna fail. I mean, anyway, here and there. Killer Instinct took care of my Lethal 405. I got a whole new head for the thing. Put it on. Like I said, I got 4 seasons out of it. I do shoot the heavy arrows out of it. They do send that crossbow with the lighter hyperlinks or hyper something bow bolts, arrows, whatever you want to call them. I did go to the red colored ones, which are a heavier one. I think 390 grains is what they are with a 100 grain head. I do shoot 125 grain head, field point, hunting tip, whatever you want to call it. I also do a nocturnal, the burnt coyote Luminox, which add another, if I remember my numbers, 25 grains maybe, add another 25 grains. But anyway, with waiting on them with the email, and yes, it took a while to get a hold of them, and ended up having to call them. You are in the middle of hunting season, and of course I know this is when things go bad because you're using them now and you're not using them during the summer and everything. But most any outdoor company, hunting outdoor product type company, this is their busy time of year. Yeah, all of them. I don't give a damn who it is. It's just they're busy this time of year because it's human nature, you know, not to mess with your equipment till it's time to use it. And so that's where they are with that. So it did take me a little while to get a hold of them. I waited on an email for about a week. We were rolling out of our bow season here in Virginia, and we were going into muzzleloader, so I wasn't really in all that big of a hurry because I'm putting the bow down, picking up muzzleloader. Now my favorite spot to hunt is archery only. It's a buddy of mine's property, and we're just not going to shoot. I think legally we probably could shoot a muzzleloader there. We've got enough space between, but it's an urban situation, and it's just not something we want, an issue we want to create by shooting a black powder rifle or any kind of gun, shotgun or anything around there. So we just keeping it all bow. But so I wasn't in a big rush for it, but that is my best property. That is my favorite property to hunt. So I wanted, you know, needed them to take care of it, but yeah, I've got other hunting opportunities that I just wouldn't have to call it a season. I'm done. So that was that. And anyway, I got a hold of a lady on the phone, very nice lady, very sweet, very, very understanding. And I feel like when you talk to those people, if you're understanding, they're understanding. Show them respect, they'll show you the respect. This lady bent over backwards, got me hooked up, second day aired my parts to me, and took care of it, and it was done. I mean, I could have been hunting 2 weeks ago, but like I said, we're muzzleloader. I just spent a week, not a total week, but a long weekend, and then I ended the half of the last week up in the mountains at our deer camp up in the mountains. So, and in the meantime, my daughter, as sweet as she can be, said she was going to hook me up with a, basically, since mine blew up, she thought she was going to look out for me, and she's going to get Dad a bow for Christmas, my Christmas present. So that ended up being a Killer Instinct Vital X. So today we're going to try to put this thing together real quick out here, unbox it, open it up. My trusty Swiss Army knife here. See if we can put this together. We get this thing put together kind of quick. But just wanted to kind of just preface it, you know, with my Killer Instinct thing. This right here, from what I've been seeing and reading and seeing on YouTube, this is pretty much, this Vital X is pretty, your bang for your buck, probably one of the better crossbows out there. It's really narrow. See the picture right here, the axle to axle right here. This is when it's cocked. This is one of the narrower bows, crossbows. And these things, I think the thing saw, when I looked at these original, they were running almost $500 for this setup. This comes with everything, a couple bolts. It actually has a cocking sled instead of just a cocking rope. I did not get the hand crank thing. I'm still capable of pulling one of these back with the cocking sled or cocking rope, so I don't need a cranking thing yet. But anyway, so this thing, I think Chelsea found it on sale for $349 or $359. It's $359. But anyway, let's get it out of the box here. See what we got. All right, we got an instruction sheet. Have any issues, questions? Please contact Killer Instinct directly. Do not return this product to the store. Yada yada yada. Okay. I got all their phone numbers. A little bag of these are the ones I'm talking about. The red. I call them the red ones because they got the red labels, red sticker, and the red veins on them. These are the Hyper. These are 390 grains with a 100 100 grain broadhead or 100 grain field tip, which I don't use. Oh boy, we got fancy quiver here. Lots of doodads. We've got a bag that's got the stirrup on it. Man, where did I keep putting my hair? Let's see here. All right, the basic barrel and such. So everything. This one, what I like about these is these use an AR type pistol grip on them. And if you watch Death by Bungee, and Rich has a thing he did on one of his, took this off, and Pierce Grips makes a AR-15/1911 type of, anyway, you use it. It takes an AR-15 style bolt hand grip, but it's designed so you can put 1911 grip panels in it, and that's pretty neat. I may do that with this one. This is a very thin pistol grip right here. I may just put a regular AR. I don't have an AR grips laying around maybe, but very thin grip. I prefer a thicker grip, but so far kind of liking this thing. I don't understand the Picatinny rail or the Weaver style rail right here underneath the handguard, because it's not like this is all molded as one piece. I don't know what you could put in there. This obviously will be here for the, I'm assuming, to hook the quiver piece on. Built-in sling swivel stud right there, and sling swivel stud at the end of the butt plate. Now this butt piece here is short. It's not adjustable. But I mean, it's what I'm used to. You look at the Lethal 405, this is a very short distance here. So, I mean, I'm used to that and it doesn't bother me, so. Good there. Let's see. What all do we have here? We need to put the head on it. Let's do the first thing. Let's see if we can find that. Comes with a scope. Pretty sure comes with a scope here. See what we got, what kind of scope. I hate the ones, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this or not. I hate this style scope. It's got these bars all the way across in the reticle that go from one side to the other. 1, 2, 3. I don't know how well you can see that. I don't like this scope. I probably will not use this scope. I don't think the scope is a bad scope. They work. I mean, you could take this thing right out the package, put it on here, and go hunting with, and slide it in and go hunting with this. It's not what I'm not saying. I just hate that kind of scope. So we may not be using that. We do have Killer Instinct instruction, owner's manual, yada yada. And this should be our head, basically. like I said, I'll talk scope in a minute. I'll talk scopes here in a minute. Let's get this thing put together. And got your rope cocker, and what I mean by a sled cocker, and any of y'all probably know, it more or less has this sled type deal that grabs onto the string and slides as you pull. This whole sled unit, as they call it, slides up the rail and pulls the string cable up and cocks it. Let's get it all let's see, there's some field points, 100 grain, I'm assuming. Comes with a thing of rail lube, stick lubricant with silicone, flight rail lube. This is what I use. First string saver rail lube. This is what I've been using. I bought a bottle of this, and I don't even know where I got this from. Bass Pro maybe, Cabela somewhere. I may have ordered it, may have got it from Wyvern Creations. I can't really remember where I got this from. Same thing, but this is just a bigger thing, and I think it's a little better lubricant. But this is what I've been using for years with my other crossbow. All right, let's see. This is going to be, we got set screws, we've got this piece here. Let's see what we got here. All right, I do have my Wheeler fat wrench out here in case I need to torque anything. I don't know, I don't know whether anything needs to be torqued or not. I don't think I've ever seen the torque values on any of these. This is also another thing. Let me tell you, I recommend this. Found this the other day at Walmart, Hyper Tough. Yeah, I know it's not Snap-on or anything like this, but this handy little kit right here, $10 on the Christmas special things at Walmart now. This thing right here, I like this. For $10, you can't. Come on. All right, let's get our all our Allen stuff here. Just get their sizes together here. What we need two different sizes. Let's see. Two different sizes. Now, of course, the thing does come with Allen wrenches, but that's not me. Alright, so we set this one for these set screws that we need. And that one's fits better. This looks better. So this is a 1/8 head there for that, and then the big one is going to be, a 3/16 Allen head for this big boat. So, all right, now there has been some kind of confluxion on the slide piece on these Vital X's. This is where your crossbow strings go in, and then this thing sits in here and slides underneath your rail here. There has been a lot of confusion and some confluxion about this as to what actually is the correct one. Several videos, several guys out there say that this red one is not the correct one. I'm not hunting with this crossbow. I'm just putting this crossbow together for y'all. So I'm not using this bow this season to hunt with. So I'm not really sure if this is something I'm going to worry about taking care of. And this thing does have a groove right there, and this has a groove right here. So this groove must go, in this groove. you know, round peg in a round hole, not a square peg in a round hole thing, kind of thing. So we'll get this thing worked out later down the road. I'm just putting this together today. I'm not hunting with this thing this year, so this shouldn't be a problem for me yet. I may shoot it a few times, but I'm in no big rush with this. All right. The biggest thing is getting this little doohickey snapped into here in the correct manner and on the correct side of this. So there is somewhere in these things in this sheet on how this thing is supposed to go in here. So, and even the picture in the thing doesn't show a red one. So type of five riser fight facing up. Bottom view of cable slides. All right, so the slide needs to be on the passenger side of the X with the bow facing up. All right, so this is the top, this is facing up. You have the X. This thing needs to be on the right side of this here X. It needs to go on this side, not this. It needs to be on this side, not this side. It needs to be on the passenger side of the bow, passenger side. That's the car guy thing in me coming out, okay guys? All right, so this has got to be snapped in here. And all this being brand new. Oh, wait a minute, I am getting ready to screw up. There we go. And this thing does snap in. Come on now. There we go. All right. So that is now snapped in there the correct way. Bow facing up. We're on the passenger side, right-hand side of the X. And they say to lube this thing up a little bit, so we will use some of their lube to lube the bottom of this thing up. They say this thing is supposed to be lubed properly also, so I'm going to put some of that on there. I'm not going to go overboard with it, but I will put a decent amount. We also have a rubber gasket that has to go on here, and so the gasket has to go on the riser, and and really, this little rubber gasket, this is sticky, but I'm not going to take that off. I'm just going to slide it in there. It only goes one way. I mean, it's cut and notched to where that goes. I mean, you can't screw that up. It only goes one way. And then you have this spacer. That too really can only go on one way. Goes in there like that. If you're mechanically inclined, this should not be difficult for you. All right, now here comes the part where you actually have to fight this thing to kind of get it in here because, well, it's just the way it is. Oh, you know what I did? I put it on the right side, but I put it on upside down. Again, it has to go on that groove. It has to slide in that groove. Since I wiped all that off with my fingers, let's go put some more of this on. See, this is what I get when I try to do something like this and talk at the same time. Alright, because this has got to go in here. Slides in there. And of course, your string is going to line all that up. Yeah. Kind of, it gets stuck and it don't want to go all the way down, so I put it in between your legs here, put your hands up here on your riser, put your elbows on your cam and push down with your elbows, and that thing will slide right all the way down. Not a problem. Done deal. Then you take your long bolt that goes in here. It comes, this one does not come with any Loctite on it, and I don't know whether you ought to put Loctite on it or not, to be honest. I don't know. There are some set screws in here that come with Loctite that's already on them and dried up on there, so when you put it in there, it'll be there, but this one does not. How much easier this is. So much nicer when you got decent tools. And yeah, I know, I'm sure somebody's gonna say, come on dude, Hyper Tough is not decent tools, but you know, for this it is. It is. It's so much nice when you got tools. You're sitting here spinning that little metal wrench around. We'd be here all day doing that. This is a ratcheting T-handle kind of thing. And right, not gonna tighten it too tight. Man, look how thin that thing is. Look how narrow this crossbow is. Okay. This thing is gonna be a joy to be sitting in the stand with when you ain't got all this limb out in front of you and everything. All right, we're just almost done, but let me real quick, I'm gonna run through the instruction manual real quick to see if there's any specific torque value that this needs to be bolted torque down to. Put the riser in place, we got the thing in there. Attach the quiver. All right, we've gone from number 1. Place 3/16 riser bolt through the center of the riser, thread in the barrel. Note, make sure middle Allen set screw does not interfere with the riser bolt at this point. All right, so we've not got that in. We've not put any of the set screws in yet. So no, there is no torque value in which to torque this down. I didn't think it was. I just wanted to make sure. All right, so in all this, there's you have several of these set screws. It's hard to see. You have several of these set screws, 3 of them to be exact, and you see that they do have the blue Loctite already dried and put on them. And anyway, all right, so one of these goes right through the center of this and contacts your main bolt to put tension, or put tension, I guess that's the term I would use, put tension on that bolt to kind of keep that bolt from backing down. So that is why there's no torque value to that bolt. Could you figure out a torque setting and put Loctite on it, and then you wouldn't have to put this in? Oh yeah, sure. But since this is how they want you to do it, this is how we're going to do it. And I'm not over tightening this thing with the Gorilla grip or anything like that. We're just getting it in there. Alright, so that is done. Alright, now the stirrup. The stirrup has these two square spots on it, right here. And that, when you slide that into the block here, into this block, these other two holes right here is where those other two set screws are going to lock this into place. So let's get this done. You know, I'm just looking at something. I think I forgot a step here, which is no big deal. It's not going to cause no issues here. We just might have to go back, because again, talking and trying to do something. Let's get these run up. Right. Real quick, I just happened to notice two washers in here, and that is what I've done. I thought so. All right, so what we need to do is we need to pull out this middle set screw. I'm gonna run this, not all the way out, just take it off of the bolt. Swap Allen heads. You only need two different Allen heads. And like I said, the thing does come with Nope. I forgot to put the two washers. There's a flat washer and a lock washer underneath the main Allen screw that holds the whole thing together. So that is my bad, my screw up. Oh, it might be better to use this. Got too much handle here with my fancy dancy thing here, so I could have done this the correct way the first time, and I've had to go back and do this. Right? Let's get this taken care of properly. All right. According to the bolt, now we're in trouble. There we go. Man, dropped something in the leaves. It's crazy. All right, so the lock washer goes up against the bolt head, and the flat washer goes on next. So the flat washer is contacting the square block up here with the bolt shoulder, the bolt head contacting the lock washer. So let's get all this back together here. Let's run this back in here, and you can see where I run that set screw down on them threads. Kind of boogered them threads up, but it's supposed to. It's supposed to booger them threads up so it locks it down, but it might make for a little difficult getting this in here. No, it seems to be screwing down just. All right, now I've got enough room here. I can use this. All right, just make sure you get that lock washer down, compressed. We're good. There we go. And we can run this, run that little set screw back in there. I won't take it too tight. Go back and check the stirrups. All right, good to go. All right, so pretty much other than putting the quiver, mounting the quiver on here, which I may not do. I don't ever shoot it with a quiver. I don't ever hunt with it with a quiver. Generally, only reason the quiver I put the quiver on is so I can carry my arrows down there. As soon as I climb up in the tree or get in a ground blind, whatever I'm doing, I take Chloe. My old coon dog, she hears a siren somewhere. Chloe, zip it, girl. Zip. My old coon dog. So, quiver. I don't ever use a quiver. Now I'm starting to where I just throw my quiver. I do take the quiver that holds my arrows and I'll just snatch it and latch it to my